President Trump displays violent criminal aliens for all the world to see on the White House lawn. The Philadelphia Eagles visit the White House, and Trump tells truck drivers, you got to learn how to speak English. Here's the top 5 reasons why Trump is trending today. All right, number 1 reason Trump is trending today. As day broke over the White House today, it illuminated the signs on the White House lawn, which featured the faces of violent criminal, illegal aliens that have been captured and deported in Trump's first 100 days. Now, these were put on a display with the shocking, just the violent crimes that were committed by these people who, by the way, the left-wing media is doing everything to protect and keep here in neighborhoods where your families live. Now, they're so deranged that MSNBC actually blurred out the faces of these criminals on their feed when they were showing this. Now, this was strategically put where it was at the White House because this is exactly where all of the mainstream media cameras are facing. So when you see all of the MSNBC, CNN, whenever they're doing their hits from the White House, this is exactly where they stand to get the shot of the White House in the background. And this was strategically placed. So the lunatic on MSNBC was saying, I think all the networks should blur out all the faces. And of course, what are they talking about? Due process. That's their new favorite word, due process, due process. Even though that more than 75% of the illegals that were deported under Barack Obama, more than 90% of the illegals that were deported under Clinton received zero due process. For some reason, they have found this to be their calling card is, they have to all have due process. And these were really the worst of the worst that were selected by the Trump White House to display on the White House lawn. I think it's very important because I think people need, and especially people on the left, need to see exactly why Trump is so dead set on getting these illegal aliens out of the country. We all have to be behind this. And I think the majority of Americans are. This is Trump's strongest point. He has secured the border. He is beginning these deportation efforts that are being stopped at every turn by radical judges, going even up to as far as the Supreme Court. But President Donald Trump is proving that he is here to stick up for the American people and the safety of our country. I think it's a perfect move by him as he begins to celebrate his 100 days. He'll have a rally in Michigan tomorrow to celebrate it. And his number one strong point has been keeping Americans safe from these dangerous criminal illegal aliens. I love the way that this looks. The aesthetics of it are beautiful. And I pray that we have enough to surround all of Washington, D.C. with the faces of these criminal illegal aliens. Number 2 reason Trump is trending today, the Philadelphia Eagles visited the White House today to celebrate their Super Bowl championship. President Donald Trump, hysterical as always, especially when he introduced Saquon Barkley. He said, Saquon Barkley, a handsome dude, wouldn't want to try to tackle him, but his real good quip came when he said that I was there to watch the Super Bowl live in person, along with Taylor Swift. How did that work out? How did that Taylor Swift work out? And that caught a big laughter from a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles players. Now, Jalen Hurts, the star quarterback for the Eagles, chose not to go. Now, imagine this. You're a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You're invited by the President of the United States to attend with your teammates and share this moment in history, and you choose not to. Right? So, terrible look for Jalen Hurts. Great look for Saquon Barkley, who, as I reported yesterday there, he was palling around with President Donald Trump. And this drives the left crazy because their entire focus on President Donald Trump is that he's racist. So it disrupts their whole narrative. So the left really doesn't know how to handle when things like this happen. Saquon Barkley, he posted on Twitter today about this. LOL, some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president. Maybe I just respect the office. Not a hard concept to understand. Just golfed with Obama not too long ago and look forward to finishing my round with Trump. Now you get out of my mentions with all this politics and have an amazing day. But even Saquon doesn't have to apologize to anybody for going to visit with the president. Neither does anybody on the Eagles. It's just the weak-minded left that melts down over the littlest things that have to protect the narrative at all costs. So it was a fly, Eagles, fly type of day at the White House today. Number 3 reason Trump is trending today, he signed an executive order that will require truck drivers to learn to speak English. They will also have to pass literacy tests. I mean, this seems like common sense, no? But here we go. Caroline Levitt said this from the podium. You might not know, but there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road with federal officials and local officials as well, which obviously is a risk to public safety. So we're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English. That's very common sense policy. Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, said President Trump and I are committed to an aggressive deregulatory agenda of cutting red tape. We're clearing the way for America to build big and beautiful infrastructure again. But one regulation we are not compromising on is the basic requirement that commercial vehicle drivers are proficient in English, our national language. This is a common sense standard that should have never been abandoned. These standards ultimately help immigrants by encouraging them to learn English, which is the language of opportunity in America. America is a nation with shared culture, values, and traditions. Drivers who want to share our roads must share our language. America first means safety first. Beautifully said by Sean Duffy, the Transportation Secretary. And I think this goes for all aspects of all industries in America. Learn to speak the language of the country. This is an English-speaking country. It's time that we stop pretending like we have to cater to other people's languages that are coming here to take part in this great country of ours. Learn the language. I'm tired of having to press 1 for English. That's got to go. That's out. Not in the United States. You come here to this country, you learn the language. So Trump making sure the truckers do that for sure. Number 4 reason Trump is trending today. A left-wing lunatic Democrat is introducing articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. This guy is Shri Tandar. I don't know how to say his name. Take a look at this lunatic. He looks a little bit like Jimmy Fallon, I would say, rather like an Indian Jimmy Fallon. Here's what he says. I have introduced articles of impeachment against President Trump. When Trump ignores the Constitution, Congress, and the courts, he is not fighting for America. He is tearing it down and endangering our democracy. I think America has rejected that type of ideology that we heard from the left. Nobody buys their story anymore. Everybody is behind President Donald Trump in what he is doing to protect our border and to get rid of the illegal aliens. He is also making us look strong on the world stage again. We know he is trying to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia, as well as trying to handle the situation with Israel and Hamas. So there's a lot of backing behind President Donald. I know they put out these fake polls today as Trump tries to celebrate his 100 days in office. They're putting out these fake polls like Trump has the lowest approval rating in the history of the United States. The same pollsters that told you he had no shot to regain the White House are the same ones telling you now that America disapproves of President Donald Trump. Don't you believe it for a second. If President Donald Trump was to have the election again tomorrow, he'd win by an even bigger margin, okay? Especially now that we can see that with the stroke of a pen, you can actually shut the border down. We were being lied to and the country was being invaded. So if they had to redo the election tomorrow, Trump wins in a bigger landslide than he did on November 5th. Here's what I'm going to expect more of this from the Democrats. You're going to have more Democrats that are going to file for much more than we had from the Republican side. And you can count on that. And they are going to continue to do this throughout the next 4 years to try to impeach President Donald Trump. They're going to keep introducing the articles. This is why the midterms are going to become very, very important in this country. So there you go. First impeachment articles filed against Trump. That didn't take long, right? Came within his first 100 days. Number 5 reason Trump is trending today, another executive order. This time, Trump signs an executive order cracking down on sanctuary cities and threatening their funding. Tom Homan saying from the White House today on this, the executive order on sanctuary cities is needed. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. I'll give you one example. Lake and Riley. If we didn't have a sanctuary city law in New York, ICE would have gotten him when he was arrested in New York. He never would have made it to Georgia. Lake and Riley would be studying today in college. So sad when you think about so many of the people, not just Lake and Riley, but so many that have been severely either harmed for life or killed because of these illegals that are in the country. The sanctuary cities obviously are giving the illegals sanctuary. It's not a sanctuary for American citizens. New York City has spent $5 billion on migrants. Chicago has spent $612 million on migrants. Denver has spent $356 million on migrants. And by migrants, they mean illegal immigrants. Although you say illegal immigrants, that somehow is an offensive term now. They made illegal immigrant an offensive term. You have to say undocumented alien, undocumented migrant, something like that. They're illegal immigrants. Americans deserve to know which cities are wasting their hard-earned tax money on all these illegals, and we need to protect the American citizens. We know that you have radical judges that are blocking President Donald Trump from these sanctuary city fundings. I think every single sanctuary city should be defunded. They should be ashamed of themselves, and I think more and more people are flocking out of those sanctuary cities as the illegal immigrants continue to pour in. That's the breakdown I got for you guys. If you enjoy these hits, make sure you follow the podcast so you can hear the top 5 reasons why Trump is trending each and every day.
Trump is trending, he's everywhere. From the news to the cat babies in our air.